today is not just another moment in time. Today is an invitation to rise, an invitation to release who you were told to be, and step fully into who you were always meant to become. 2026 is not waiting to reward luck. It is waiting to reward alignment. Your best self is not hidden somewhere in the future. She is already inside you, waiting for permission, courage, and commitment. And that transformation begins with 3 simple but powerful steps. 2026 does not require a new version of you. It requires a truer one. The one who chooses responsibility over excuses. The one who builds habits rooted in self-worth. The one who listens to her inner voice and walks forward anyway. You are not late. You are not behind. You are right on time. And the best version of you is ready, waiting for your decision. Responsibility is not about blame, guilt, or carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. It is about ownership. It is the moment you stop waiting for someone else to rescue you, approve of you, or change your circumstances, and you begin to recognize that the greatest authority in your life has always been you. When you take responsibility, you reclaim your power, because power only lives where ownership exists. For many people, life feels heavy because they believe they are victims of their past, their environment, or other people's decisions. They replay old stories, old disappointments, and old wounds, convincing themselves that these experiences define who they are and what they can become. But responsibility gently interrupts that narrative. It says, your past may explain you, but it does not control you. The moment you accept responsibility, you stop asking, why did this happen to me? And start asking, what will I do with what happened to me? Taking responsibility means understanding that while you cannot control everything that happens in your life, you can always control how you respond. Your response is where your power lies. It is in your choices, your mindset, your habits, and your willingness to grow. When you realize this, you stop feeling powerless and start feeling purposeful. You recognize that every reaction you choose either strengthens you or keeps you stuck. Responsibility also requires honesty. It asks you to look at your life as it is, not as you wish it were, and to acknowledge your role in creating it. This can be uncomfortable, because it means letting go of excuses. It means admitting that some of the patterns you want to escape are patterns you have allowed to continue. But this honesty is not meant to your life, as it exists today, is largely the result of what you do consistently, not occasionally. Big dreams, powerful intentions, and inspirational moments may ignite motivation, but it is your daily habits that quietly determine who you become. Every small action, every repeated choice, and every routine you follow is shaping your future identity, whether you are aware of it or not. Most people wait for motivation to appear before they act, but growth does not work that way. Motivation is unpredictable, but habits are dependable. When you build habits that support your growth, you no longer rely on feelings to move forward. You move forward because it is who you are becoming. This is why daily habits are so powerful. They turn effort into identity, and discipline into self-respect. Your habits are constantly answering an important question. Who am I becoming through this choice? The way you start your mornings, the thoughts you allow to repeat in your mind, the content you consume, and the people you surround yourself with are all influencing your future self. Small decisions may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time, they create massive change. A few minutes of reading each day can shape a wiser mind. A short walk every morning can build a healthier body. And a moment of gratitude can rewire the way you experience your life. Aligning your habits with your highest vision requires clarity. You must first decide who you want to be. Not what you want to have, but who you want to become. Do you want to become more confident, more disciplined, more true? Transformation does not come from forcing yourself to become someone else. It comes from aligning who you are on the inside with how you live on the outside. Self-alignment is the process of bringing your thoughts, values, actions, and decisions into harmony, so your life begins to feel authentic, intentional, and deeply fulfilling. When you are aligned, growth feels natural rather than exhausting, and success feels meaningful rather than empty. Many people struggle not because they lack talent or potential, but because they are living out of alignment with their true selves. They say yes when their spirit is saying no. They chase goals that impress others, but leave them feeling hollow, and they silence their inner voice to avoid discomfort. Over time, this misalignment creates frustration, burnout, and a sense of being lost. Self-alignment is the courage to pause, listen inward, and ask, is the life I am living truly mine? Alignment begins with clarity about your values. Your values are the internal compass that guide your decisions, even when no one is watching. When your actions conflict with your values, you feel inner tension. When your actions honor your values, you feel peace. This is why lasting change cannot be built on external pressure alone. It must be rooted in what genuinely matters to you. When your choices reflect your values, you no longer need constant motivation, because your life starts to make sense. Self-alignment also requires emotional awareness. Your emotions are messengers, not obstacles. They are signals pointing you toward areas of your life that need attention, healing, or change. Ignoring these signals may seem easier in the short term, but it leads to long-term disconnection. When you allow yourself to feel, reflect, and respond with intention, you begin to understand yourself more deeply. This understanding becomes the foundation for authentic growth. Another powerful aspect of self-alignment is learning to set boundaries. Boundaries are not walls, they are expressions of self-respect. They protect your energy, your time, and your mental well-being. When you live in alignment, you stop overgiving, over-explaining, and over-compromising your needs. You begin to choose relationships, environments, and commitments that support who you are becoming, rather than who you used to be. Alignment also transforms the way you pursue success. Instead of chasing validation, you pursue purpose. Instead of comparing your journey to others, you honor your own timing. You understand that progress is not about speed, but about direction. When you are aligned, even small steps feel powerful, because they are taken with intention and self-trust. Living in alignment does not mean life becomes perfect or effortless. Challenges will still arise, and growth will still require courage. However, aligned challenges feel meaningful, because they are connected to a larger vision. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this teaching me?" This shift in perspective turns obstacles into opportunities for growth. Self-alignment is a daily practice, not a one-time decision. It is built through mindful choices, honest reflection, and the willingness to course correct when you drift. Every person carries within them a quiet, steady voice that knows what feels right, what feels wrong, and what feels true. This inner voice is not loud or dramatic. It does not rush or demand attention. It speaks in moments of stillness, through intuition, emotion, and subtle awareness. Inner trust is the ability to listen to that voice and honor it, even when fear tries to drown it out. When you develop inner trust, you discover that it is far stronger than fear, and far more reliable than external opinions. Fear often presents itself as logic. It tells you to stay safe, to avoid risk, and to choose comfort over growth. While fear can be useful in protecting you from danger, it becomes destructive when it prevents you from stepping into your potential. Fear focuses on what might go wrong, while inner trust focuses on what feels aligned. When you learn to recognize the difference, you stop allowing fear to make decisions on your behalf. Trusting yourself does not mean you will never feel afraid. It means you no longer allow fear to control your actions. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to move forward despite it. Inner trust gives you that courage. It reminds you that you have survived uncertainty before, that you have learned from mistakes, and that you are capable of handling whatever comes next. The more you act from trust, the stronger that trust becomes. Inner trust is built through self-awareness. It grows when you pay attention to how your body and mind respond to different choices. A decision aligned with your truth often brings a sense of calm, clarity, or relief, even if it is difficult. A decision driven by fear often brings tension, anxiety, or resistance. When you learn to notice these signals, you begin to navigate life with greater confidence and emotional intelligence. Another important aspect of inner trust is releasing the need for becoming your best self is not an accident, a coincidence, or a result of waiting for the perfect moment. It begins with a conscious choice, a deliberate decision to stop living on autopilot and start living with intention. Every meaningful transformation in life starts the same way, with awareness followed by choice. The moment you decide to choose yourself, your growth truly begins. Most people move through life reacting rather than choosing. They respond to circumstances, emotions, and expectations without pausing to ask whether those responses align with who they want to become. A conscious choice interrupts this pattern. It creates space between impulse and action. In that space, you gain power. You gain the ability to say, I choose growth over comfort, clarity over confusion, and purpose over pressure. A conscious choice requires honesty. It asks you to acknowledge where you are without judgment, and to recognize where you want to go without fear. This honesty is not about criticizing yourself for past mistakes, but about learning from them. When you stop denying your reality and start facing it with courage, you open the door to real change. You realize that avoiding the truth keeps you stuck, while embracing it sets you free. Choosing your best self also means letting go of what no longer serves you. This includes outdated beliefs, limiting narratives, unhealthy habits, and relationships that drain your energy. Letting go can be uncomfortable, because familiarity often feels safer than the unknown. However, growth always requires release. You cannot step into a new version of yourself while holding tightly to the past. Conscious choice is the willingness to create space for what you are becoming. Another powerful aspect of conscious choice is consistency. A single decision can change your direction, but it is repeated choices that change your identity. Each day presents opportunities to either reinforce your old patterns or strengthen your new ones. When you consistently choose actions that align with your values, even when it is difficult, you build self-trust. Over time, this trust becomes the foundation of confidence and inner stability. Choosing your best self also means taking responsibility for your inner world. You may not be able to control external events, but you can choose how you interpret them. You can choose thoughts that empower, rather than limit you, and perspectives that help you grow rather than shrink. This mental responsibility is a powerful act of self-leadership. It transforms challenges into lessons and setbacks into stepping stones. A conscious choice is not a one-time declaration. It is a daily commitment. Some days, choosing your best self will feel natural and inspiring. Other days, it will feel uncomfortable and challenging. What matters is not perfection, but persistence. Each time you choose alignment over avoidance, you strengthen the muscle of intentional living. Your best self is not a distant version of you waiting to be discovered. She is revealed through the choices you make today. Every conscious decision, no matter how small, shapes your future. When you choose with awareness, courage, and self-respect, you create a life that reflects who you truly are and who you are becoming. As you step forward into 2026, remember that becoming your best self is not about changing everything at once. It is about choosing yourself, again and again, with intention and courage. Responsibility gives you your power back. Daily habits shape the person you are becoming. Alignment brings peace and authenticity. Inner trust guides you through uncertainty, and conscious choice turns potential into reality. You are not here to live on autopilot, or to shrink yourself to fit old expectations. You are here to grow, to evolve, and to honor the truth of who you are. Every day offers you a new opportunity to respond differently, to act more intentionally, and to move closer to the life you truly desire. Your journey will not always be easy. but it will always be meaningful when it is aligned with your values and guided by self-trust. Progress is made in small steps, repeated with commitment and belief. When you choose responsibility over excuses, purpose over fear, and growth over comfort, you step into your highest power. 2026 is not asking you to be perfect. It is asking you to be present, aware, and willing. The best version of you is not waiting in the future. She is created through the choices you make today. Step forward with confidence, trust yourself deeply, and become the person you were always meant to be.